She was known as a joke at school, everyone laughed at her. But behind her back, the rumors were even worse. People whispered that she didn't know how to reject boys' confessions. Some even said she would do anything to keep a relationship going. But in reality, she was incredibly loyal. She treated every relationship seriously and was willing to give her all for love. The only problem: the boys she met were never the right ones. Until she met him. From the moment they crossed paths, she could feel he was different from all the jerks before. Just a few minutes ago, the boy, encouraged by his best friend, had finally confessed his longtime crush to the school goddess. He never expected her to say yes. But she did. Why? Because she had never dated a guy like him before. Her name was Bai Heiyu. She was the school's undeniable goddess. No matter where she went, boys swooned. And him. He was invisible, the kind of guy no one noticed in class. The only time they had ever spoken was when she asked to borrow a pen. But just that one moment was enough to completely enchant him. He never thought he'd actually confess. But a game of truth or dare changed everything. He placed a carefully written love letter in her shoe locker. He thought she'd ignore it. But she actually showed up. He wanted to chicken out, but his best friend wouldn't let him. So with no way out, he confessed. He was sure she'd turn him down. But unexpectedly, Bai he accepted. After school, they walked home together. On the way, he couldn't help but ask, "Why did you say yes? We barely know each other." But Bai he didn't think that mattered. To me, she said, knowing someone isn't the point. What matters is wanting to know them and wanting to try. He froze. He was sure she saw him as just another guy, a disposable one. But she explained she actually had high standards. For example, no guys who don't wipe their sweat. No guys who don't try to lose weight. He was even more stunned. That's it, aren't those standards a little low? Was she just the type to fall for anyone? But Bai shook her head. She said she had never dumped anyone. She had always been the one who got dumped. And she wasn't the kind of girl who played around. She was serious about every relationship. So the two of them walked all the way to Bai He's house. Just as the boy was about to turn around and leave, Bai He stopped him. No one else was home, so she invited him inside. But that invitation led to a dangerous situation. She directly invited him into her room. For someone who had never even held hands with a girl, this was his first time entering a girl's personal space. Even the air seemed to carry her scent. It was intoxicating. Bai He casually told him to sit wherever he liked. But when he looked around, the only place to sit was the bed. Did she mean sit on the bed with her? Panicking, he tried to find an excuse to leave. But what Bai He said next totally shocked him. She insisted they should sleep together. He immediately stopped her. He thought it was all happening way too fast. After all, they had just started dating. Wasn't that kind of thing supposed to happen after they really fell in love? But Bai He didn't see it that way. In her mind, if you were boyfriend and girlfriend, then physical intimacy was a responsibility. If you didn't give it, the guy might leave. But he wanted to cherish their relationship. So he declined gently but firmly. As he left, he turned to her and said, "I really like you, Bai He, and I want you to take this seriously too. I'm not like your exes. I don't have tons of female friends. And if we're going to be together, I want it to be because we truly love each other, not just for that kind of stuff." That moment. Absolute legend tier romance. Bai He was known as the school goddess. But beneath the surface, she was also labeled something much darker. A player, a drama queen, a bad girl. But in truth, she was nothing like the rumors. She was just a girl who loved too deeply. And unfortunately, every guy she gave her heart to broke it. That's why meeting him changed everything. He was the first boy who truly made her feel safe. The next day, they met again at school. But her best friend had a warning. She's the school's queen of dating, you know. No guy lasts more than 2.5 months with her. He tried to shrug it off. Even though Bai He was sweet and affectionate with him in public, he couldn't help feeling uneasy. He wasn't used to being treated like this. Especially not in front of classmates. Later, he pulled Bai He aside and said, "Can we not be so close in class? I don't really want everyone knowing we're dating." He was afraid she'd get angry. But to his surprise, Bai He completely misunderstood him. She thought he was asking her out on a Saturday date. When he got home that night, he was already nervous about how to plan for Saturday. That's when Bai He video called him, wearing cozy pajamas and a big smile. She asked, "Is there somewhere you want to go on Saturday?" He had no idea how to answer. So he told her, "Why don't you decide?" The next day, the two of them went to the mall. Watching Bai He try on clothes, the boy honestly thought she looked stunning in everything. People around them whispered, thinking she must be a magazine model. Next to her, he just looked plain. Eventually, they went into a clothing store, and Bai He noticed he wasn't picking out anything for himself. He looked tired, distracted. So she asked, "Are you okay? You haven't looked at a single outfit." He scratched his head awkwardly and said, "It's just I've been busy watching My Beautiful Girlfriend." Bai's face turned red. Later that day they each went home. The boy texted her a sweet message, but Bai-hee didn't reply. In that silence, it hit him like a rock. Her best friend's warning echoed in his mind. Maybe she's just playing with you, you're not the first guy she's dated. Even though he knew Bai-hee had plans on Sunday, he couldn't stop overthinking. He didn't sleep at all that night. The next morning at school, he arrived early, hoping to catch her. But the moment he walked in, he saw Bai-hee chatting and laughing with a handsome guy. That was it. He was convinced she was going to break up with him. The whole day he waited for it. And when school ended, a message finally came in from Bai-hee. She asked if they could meet at the train station. He knew what that meant. This was it. She was going to dump him. But when they met, Bai-hee pulled out a small box. Inside, a phone case. It matched the one he had. She smiled and said, I picked this out on Sunday, I wanted us to have matching ones. I didn't reply to your message because my phone died while I was out with my friend. I didn't mean to worry you. He stood there speechless. Bai-hee looked at him confused. You don't like it. But he was just too moved to speak. Tears welled up in his eyes as he mumbled. Thank you so much. As they walked home that evening, the boy quietly admitted something to Bai-hee. I'm not that confident being with you, he said. You're beautiful, sweet, and I'm just average. Honestly, I used to be more confident, but that changed. He told her about middle school, how he once confessed to a girl he liked. She told him, you're nice, but I just see you as a friend. After that, he stopped believing in himself. Bai-hee listened and smiled softly. Then I guess I should thank that girl, she said. If she hadn't turned you down, I wouldn't have such a great boyfriend now. She added, I've always wanted a relationship that leads somewhere real, not just for fun. I've always taken love seriously. But I always end up meeting guys who aren't worth it. Some even called me the school bike like anyone could ride. She looked down for a second, clearly hurt. But I never did anything wrong, I just loved the wrong people. To him, Bai-hee wasn't anything like the rumors. She was thoughtful, loyal, honest. But then the very next day, something unexpected happened. A transfer student arrived, and it was the same girl the boy had confessed to back in middle school. His first crush. Was Bai-hee about to get a rival? Turns out the two girls had an even deeper connection than he imagined. They were twin sisters. Her name was Hai-lai, and unlike Bai-hee, she had lived with her father after their parents divorced. They'd gone to different schools and led separate lives. Hai-lai had always felt overshadowed by her sister. She was the quiet one, the left-behind child who nobody paid attention to. And now, after all these years, she was back. When she saw Bai-hee again, the jealousy she'd buried deep down boiled up. She wasn't just here to go to school. She wanted to take everything back. Even if it meant stealing her sister's boyfriend. Hai-lai wasn't subtle about it. She immediately started spreading rumors, saying Bai-hee was toxic in relationships, always drained her boyfriends dry, and never stayed with anyone for more than 2.5 months. At first, the boy didn't want to believe it. But then the gossip got louder. Some classmates even started saying, she's only with him because he's easy to manipulate. Though Bai-hee remained sweet and close to him in public, the boy felt uneasy. All the attention, the whispering, it was too much. One day he pulled Bai-hee aside and asked, can we tone things down at school? I just don't want everyone knowing we're dating. He expected her to be hurt. But instead Bai-hee smiled and replied, so you're asking me out on a weekend date? That completely threw him off. Later that week, she FaceTimed him again, in pajamas this time. She asked where he wanted to go on Saturday. He panicked and said, wherever you want is fine. So on Saturday, they went to the mall. As they wandered through shops, Bai-hee tried on all kinds of outfits. And no matter what she wore, she looked stunning. People kept whispering, asking if she was a model. The boy, meanwhile, didn't pick out a single item. He seemed absent, distracted. Why aren't you shopping? Bai-hee finally asked. He looked flustered and replied, because I've been too busy looking at my beautiful girlfriend. Later that night, he texted her again. But this time, no reply. He waited minutes past hours. That old doubt crept back in. What if she really was just like the rumors said? Even though he knew she had plans on Sunday, he couldn't help but spiral. The next day at school, he arrived early, only to see Bai-hee chatting and laughing with a handsome guy. Something broke in him. He was sure she was going to break up with him. But then a message came. Bai-hee, can we meet at the station? He braced himself. This was it. She was going to say goodbye. But when she arrived, she handed him a small gift box. Inside, matching phone cases, couple cases. I picked them out with my best friend on Sunday, she said. My phone died and we partied so hard I didn't get the chance to charge it. I didn't mean to ignore your message. He was frozen. Bai-hee looked worried. Do you not like it? He was so touched he couldn't speak. All he could say was a quiet, teary, thank you.